I want to use COVID-19 as a way to explain belief systems. Okay? I know that there's no such thing as a virus. But at the same time, I know that there's viruses in the world because people believe in viruses. And I know that on a large scale, it's hard for people to get that because we've been living for such a long time and listening to the people that teach us stuff and listening to all that kind of thing. But we have to realize that the people that taught us stuff were taught that stuff from someone who taught them that stuff, who taught them that stuff, and so on. And every time somebody had made up an idea that made sense to relay to somebody else, it was because they conceptually understood it in their head, making it happen. We're talking from a level of one or two people or molecules. We're talking from that level when something makes something happen knowingly without having to have anyone tell it otherwise. You don't need any kind of proof. So that is what I mean by you don't need proof. Proof is a sin when it takes away from the absolute. The absolute is those things that are absolute without needing proof because they were the only thing. There's nothing else but it. It's the absolute. So with the COVID thing, I want to explain a little bit about how certain things work. See, I had a very, very spiritual experience, and it won't allow me to allow other people's ideas into my mind. So I see a billion people right now freaking out about a virus. And even spiritual gurus and stuff like that are talking about the virus. But I think they're doing exactly what I'm doing. You have to mention the word in order for people to understand it. And it's really not the magic of the word itself. Doesn't matter too much if you really understand that. If you say COVID-19 virus and you know it's okay and it's actually healing people, it's healing us, you start thinking that way, then it will. The most crazy thing is if we start all thinking that this virus is good, it's helping us heal ourselves as humanity. And it is. And it sounds really cold-hearted to say some people have to die in order for humanity to heal. But they do. The lazy, the ill will, the ones who are too stuck in the old mentality, the reason that they're dying is because their minds will not allow them to overfight that sickness. And because it sounds so simple, people just won't get that or accept that as what it is. Because we've taken, how can we not understand that all we do is complicate things? A tree is simple. A house is much more intense and difficult to explain. We had this here tree, we had a whole bunch of them, we melted them down, we made all these things, we took this thing, we took these things, put them all together, If you tried to do that with everything, you'd be freaking mind blown. But the problem is, in this situation with the virus, in an invisible, unseen thing, and people are like, oh, you can see it now. I'm like, what can you see? You can see anything when you look through a microscope. You can see whatever you're looking for. And if you're looking for something, they show you a picture of it on TV, you look through a microscope, guess what? You see it. And it looks like that. Similar. Oh no. Guess what? We have identified this because we were shown this thing and that's what we're looking for. When you look for something, you find it. Or something similar to it. That's the problem. I don't know how to explain this to people so that they'll get it. But really, just calm down. Let people be crazy. I have a hard time when people are forcing me to do things that make no sense, and I have to do them anyway. And I go to say something to somebody like, this is, I say it calmly, and then they'll go off about something about we're all dying, and I'm like, guys, seriously, you have to stop thinking that way, because the more I hear you talking that way, the more it gets into my head, and I have to battle it out, which I won't allow those kind of thoughts into my head, because I understand. But the thing is, someone who doesn't have a strong mind will easily say, you know something for sure, and you go up to somebody and you're like, say it's your mom or dad. Your mom and dad says, well, this is this, and they sort of convince you otherwise, and then your belief goes down the tubes, and you did used to believe that, and now you're thinking, oh man, what if I could get this virus? Because if you have a true spiritual, divine experience, you won't ever feel that way ever again. You'll never worry about what's going to happen to you, because your personal body is yours to take care of, and you do what you can to eat healthy food. That's about it. Eat healthy food and keep healthy things in your mind. Other than that, people and the ideas people relay to each other and the way people act is nothing you can do besides trying to affect it by being the better example. That's about it. Unless you learn powers and force yourself on people, and then that's karma you're creating because you're harming people with abilities. So it's just doesn't make any sense. A lot of it is just so difficult to deal with because there's so many people, and we've let kids have kids for so many years that there's so many people that need guidance or direction. It's almost like where to start. I don't know. It's my job as a being, not as a human being, as a divine being. It's my job to bring people back to the light because it's happening right now. If people don't understand it, it's happening right now. I created it, and it's poetic because I'm a rapper. And I created it in a non-time sense, in a place of nothing, in a place of no past or future, before the dinosaurs, before the earth, before everything, and after the earth, after everything. And then it starts all over again. And I've seen it. I know it. I've experienced it. It's not something that somebody explained to me or something I saw on a TV show or something that I watched on a YouTube channel. It's something that happened in my personal life. And I can't, it won't go away. I'm by myself right now. And this is how my life has gone. And I know it to be true because things in the real world have showed up to show it. It's craziness, I know. But it's real. And that's what I love about it. And I almost see people that are set to listening to everything they're told on the TV as the crazy ones. Because they have no brain of their own to understand what's really going on. You could sit by yourself your whole life and believe something. And then you go out and you see something that somebody else made, and it totally changes everything. The items we make, the products we make, those are all visibly there. Because someone took the idea from somewhere and took a tree and turned it into something. Well, people can also take ideas and take invisible, well, not quite invisible, you can see them with a microscope, viruses, and manipulate them with their minds. If you get something in your body and you don't feel so good, the way you think will change it. And it's just how it is. People don't have to understand. People don't have to believe. But if they did, it would really help them, because this is how it's happening.